Hello student, welcome to Science Learning Gateway. Today we will start class Science NCERT chapter number 4, Carbon and its compound. This chapter carries nearly 5 to 6 marks for your board exam. This is very important chapter. You can score a good marks from this chapter. Now let's have a quick look on the topics which we have to study in this chapter. First we'll discuss little about that carbon and its compound in its introduction part. Second topic is bonding in the carbon, which type of bond is present. That is the covalent bond. About covalent bond we will study. Next topic is versatile nature of carbon. In that we will study saturated and unsaturated carbon compounds, chains, branches and rings, homologous series, nomenclature of carbon compounds. Next topic, chemical properties of carbon compound. In that we will read about different types of reaction like combination reaction, oxidation reaction, addition reaction and substitution reaction. Next topic is some important carbon compounds. In that we'll study about ethanol and ethanoic acid. And our last topic is soaps and detergent. In that we'll read about what are the different properties of soaps and detergent, how cleansing action of soap is done, about that. Okay, so now let's get started. What is the atomic number of carbon? Atomic number of carbon is 6 and the symbol of carbon is C. Okay, atomic number of carbon is 6 and the symbol of carbon is C. So carbon is a tetravalent compound, means it forms only four bonds, not more than that. In the earth crust, the percentage of carbon is 0.02% and in the atmosphere, the percentage of carbon is 0.03%. And it is in the form of carbon dioxide. In spite of so less amount of percentage of carbon, it is very important for us, both in its elemental form and in its combined form. Okay. So there are two types of compounds, organic compounds and inorganic compounds. Organic compounds are made of carbon and forms the basis of all living organisms. Means all the organic compounds are made up of carbon and they form the basis of living organism. Even we, the human beings, we are also made up of carbon. Means inside all living organism, carbon is present. Now we will have a look on bonding in carbon, the covalent bond. Okay, we'll read about what is covalent bond and what are its properties. As we have seen, atomic number of carbon is 6. What will be its electronic configuration? 2 and 4. To attain noble gas configuration or to complete its octet, what carbon can do? Carbon can either lose this 4 electron to attain noble gas configuration or it can gain 4 more electron to attain noble gas configuration. Two options carbon has. Okay. The atomic number of carbon is 6 and electronic configuration is 2, 4. It has 4 electron in the outermost shell. Okay. It has 4 electron in the outermost shell or the valence shell. What is valence shell? The outermost shell or the last shell is called the valence shell. It need to gain 4 more electrons to attain noble gas configuration. If it were to lose or gain electrons, now we'll see the two possibilities, two options which carbon will opt. First, it could gain 4 electrons forming C4 minus an ion. If carbon will gain 4 electrons, which type of ion it will form? An ion, negatively charged ion. But it would be difficult for the nucleus to hold 4 more extra electrons. That nucleus of carbon cannot hold this 4 more extra electrons. It will become unstable. So this option carbon cannot adopt. The next option, it could lose 4 electrons forming C4 plus cation. If it will lose this 4 electron, which type of ion it will form? Positive ion. But in doing so, it needs large amount of energy. For removing this 4 electrons, carbon needs large amount of energy. So this option is also incorrect. So these both options carbon cannot take. So what carbon will do? To overcome this problem, carbon will share its valence electron with other atom of carbon or with the atoms of other element like oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, etc. and attain noble gas configuration. So what carbon will do? It will share its 4 electron with other carbon atom or it can share its electron with oxygen atom also. It can share its electron with hydrogen atom also and they will attain noble gas configuration. They will become stable. About ionic bond we have read in the last chapter. What do we understand by ionic bond? Ionic bond is formed by transfer of electrons. The atom either lose electrons or it can gain electrons, but covalent bond is formed by sharing of electrons. Now have a look on the bond formation. Between hydrogen atoms, oxygen atoms and nitrogen atoms. Atomic number of hydrogen is 1. How many electron hydrogen has in its outermost shell? Only 1 electron hydrogen has. The other hydrogen will also have 1 electron. These two hydrogen will share their electron to attain noble gas configuration. Then both the hydrogen will gain 2 electrons. They will have 2 electrons. See, for example, this hydrogen atom has 1 electron. This hydrogen atom also has 1 electron. Both the hydrogen will share their electrons, means 2 pair of electrons they will share, and they will form a bond. Means hydrogen molecule is formed. Likewise, for oxygen atom, atomic number of oxygen is 8. Electronic configuration is 2, 6. 6 electron it has in the outermost shell. So to become stable, what it will do? It will share its electron with the other oxygen atom. 6 electron in the outermost shell, they will share 2 pairs of electrons. The oxygen will form double bond. Nitrogen. Nitrogen has 5 electron in its outermost shell. So what they will do? They will share 3 pairs of electron and they will form triple bond. Okay. Now we'll discuss the electron dot structure of ethane. So what is the formula of ethane? C2H6, and it is the example of a saturated hydrocarbon, means it contains single bond between carbon-carbon atom. We can see the structural formula of ethane. 2 carbon atoms with 6 hydrogen atom. Carbon is bonded to one other carbon atom and with 3 hydrogen atoms. This is the electron dot structure of carbon, in which one pair of electron is shared between the 2 carbon atoms and the other electron pairs are shared between the carbon and the hydrogen. So there are 7 covalent bonds present in this ethane. Now we can count the number of covalent bonds in ethane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. In your exam sometimes questions come how many covalent bonds are present in ethane. So you can count the number of covalent bond by looking at the structure of the ethane. Now we will read about the covalent bond. What is covalent bond? The bond formed by sharing of electron pairs between 2 atoms is called a covalent bond. So what is covalent bond? It is formed by sharing of electron pairs. So you have to remember, covalent bond is formed by sharing of electron pairs and ionic bond is formed by transfer of electrons. Okay. Now we'll have a look on properties of covalent bond. They have low melting and boiling point as they have weak intermolecular forces. They are generally poor conductor of electricity as electrons are shared between atoms and no charged particles are formed. Okay, so these are the 2 properties of covalent bond. They have low melting and boiling point. Why they have low melting and boiling point? Because the intermolecular forces between 2 atoms is very weak. So they have low melting and boiling points. They are poor conductor of electricity. Why they are poor conductor of electricity? Because electrons are shared between 2 atoms and no charged particles or no ions are formed. So they are poor conductor of electricity. But in ionic bonds, what we have read, they have high melting and boiling point. Why? Because the force of attraction is very strong, and they are good conductor of electricity because the ions can move freely. Okay. We have 3 allotropes of carbon also. 3 forms of carbon, that is graphite, diamond and C60 Buckminster fullerene. Graphite is the very good conductor of electricity in spite of it is a non-metal. Diamond is the hardest known substance and the C60 Buckminster fullerene is in the shape of a football. Now we will see the versatile nature of carbon. Okay, what makes carbon to form so many compounds? Those properties we'll read in this topic. The 2 characteristic properties of carbon which leads to large number of carbon compounds are, okay, we'll read about the 2 properties of carbon by which we can form large number of compounds. Why carbon can form large number of compounds? We'll read about those 2 properties. Our first property is catenation. What do we understand by this word catenation? It is the property of carbon in which it forms covalent bond with other carbon atoms to form long chain, branch chain and close ring compounds. Means by this catenation property, carbon can form bonds with other carbon atom and it can form long chain also, branch chain also like this, or it can form even rings also. For example, in benzene you have seen the rings like that. Okay, cyclic structure, triangle structure, square structure, any type of ring structure it can form. Catenation is a property of carbon by which it can form covalent bond with other carbon atoms to form long chain, branch chain and close ring compounds. Carbon atoms can be linked by single, double or triple bond. Means the bond between the carbon atoms can be single, can be double or can be triple bond. So you have to remember the definition of catenation. Our next property is tetravalency. We know that the atomic number of carbon is 6. Electronic configuration is 2 and 4. How many electrons present in the outermost shell? 4 electrons. So carbon can form only 4 bonds, not more than that. It is a tetravalent atom, means it can form only 4 bonds. Tetravalency, our next property is tetravalency. Carbon has 4 electrons. It can form bond with other atoms or atom of some other monovalent element like nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, etc. Okay, carbon can form only 4 bonds. Like for example, this compound CH4. What is the name of this compound? CH4. This is methane. So carbon is forming 4 bonds with 4 hydrogen atom. And this is a very important compound. It's used as a fuel in the biogas and in the CNG, compressed natural gas. Our next topic is hydrocarbons. So what are hydrocarbons? The compounds which are made from carbon and hydrogen are called hydrocarbons. From the word itself, it is clear that it is made from hydrogen and carbon. There are two types of hydrocarbons, saturated and unsaturated. Now let's have a look on what are saturated hydrocarbons and what are unsaturated hydrocarbons. Saturated hydrocarbons. Saturated hydrocarbons have single bond between carbon-carbon atoms. So what are saturated hydrocarbons? Saturated hydrocarbons are those hydrocarbons which have single bond between carbon-carbon atoms like this. Examples of saturated hydrocarbon are alkanes. Okay, alkanes are the example of saturated hydrocarbon like methane, ethane, propane, butane, etc. And what is the general formula of this saturated hydrocarbon? CnH2n plus 2. CnH2n plus 2. By this formula we can calculate the number of atoms of carbon and hydrogen. CnH2n plus 2. This is the general formula of alkanes. And saturated hydrocarbons, they are less reactive than unsaturated hydrocarbons. Okay, they are less reactive. Now we'll discuss about unsaturated hydrocarbon. In unsaturated hydrocarbons, double or triple bond is present between carbon-carbon atoms. They will contain double bond or either triple bond between the carbon-carbon atoms. Okay. Alkenes and alkynes are unsaturated hydrocarbon. Examples of unsaturated hydrocarbons are alkenes and alkynes. Alkene contain carbon-carbon double bond and alkynes contain carbon-carbon triple bond. In alkene, double bond is present. In alkynes, triple bond is present. The general formula of alkene is CnH2n. By this formula, we can calculate the number of carbon and hydrogen for alkene. And for alkyne, the general formula is CnH2n minus 2. Unsaturated hydrocarbon are more reactive, means they will show more reaction than the saturated hydrocarbon. So these are the differences between saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbon. Sometimes in your exam you will write the differences between saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbon. So what you can write for saturated hydrocarbon? They contain single bond between carbon-carbon atoms. For unsaturated, they contain double or triple bond between carbon atoms. Alkanes, as an example you can write, and for that you can write alkenes and alkynes. General formula you can write for both of them, and the next point you can write saturated hydrocarbons are less reactive, unsaturated hydrocarbons are more reactive. So these are the differences between saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons. Now we'll see the names, molecular formula, structure of saturated hydrocarbons. Okay, in this table we can see some of the saturated hydrocarbon whose formula and structures are given. So our first carbon compound is methane with carbon number 1. Okay, so what is the formula of methane? CH4. And what is the structure of methane? With 4 hydrogen bonds. Methane with carbon number 1 and 4 hydrogen atoms. This is the first member of the alkane series. Our next compound is ethane. So what is the formula of ethane? C2H6. Okay, formula of ethane is C2H6. Here we have 2 carbon atoms and 6 hydrogen atoms. 2 carbon atoms and 6 hydrogen atoms. Third member is propane with carbon number 3, C3H6. C3H8, sorry. Butane with carbon number 4 and hydrogen 10. What is the formula of butane? C4H10. pentane is C5H12 and hexane is C6H14. So these saturated hydrocarbons names you should remember formula with their structures. In your exam you can get questions from this table. Methane, the formula of methane is CH4, the formula of ethane is C2H6, the propane is C3H8, butane is C4H10, pentane is C5H12 and hexane is C6H14. Okay, like this you should remember the formula along with their structures. Now we'll see the electron dot structure of unsaturated hydrocarbons for alkenes and alkynes. Unsaturated hydrocarbon means they contain double bond or triple bonds. First we'll have a look on ethene. So it is a member of which hydrocarbon? Alkene. Okay. The formula of ethene is C2H4. In this, 2 carbon atoms are present and 4 hydrogen atoms are present. They are sharing their electrons. Both the carbons are sharing 2 pairs of electrons. If they are sharing 2 pairs of electron, double bond is present between the carbon-carbon atoms. Okay. So this is a member of alkene series. Okay. Next one is our ethyne. It is a member of alkyne series. The formula is C2H2, 2 carbon atoms with 2 hydrogen atoms. Both the carbon atoms are sharing 3 pairs of electrons. Okay, so if 3 pairs of electrons are there, then triple bond will be present between the 2 carbon atoms. So this is our alkene and this is our alkyne. Names, molecular formula and structure formula of unsaturated hydrocarbons, alkenes and alkynes. We'll have a look on this table. Ethene is the first member of alkene series. So what is the formula of ethene? C2H4 means carbon-carbon contains double bond with 6 hydrogen atom. Next member is our propene, C3H6. Next one is butene, C4H8. Now for alkynes we have ethyne as the first member, C2H2, propyne as the second member, C3H4, and butane as the third member, C4H6. So these are the names along with their formula and their structure. You should practice the structures along with their formula. Next we'll discuss carbon compounds on the basis of the structure. We have read that carbon, in that catenation property, that carbon can form a long chain, it can form a branch chain also, it can form a cyclic structure also. Carbon can form bonds with other carbon atom to form a long chain like this. For example, in straight chain we'll have a look on C3H8 means for propane. Okay. So like this carbon can form a long chain. It can form covalent bonds with other carbon atom to form a long chain. This is our structure of propane. 3 carbon atoms with 8 hydrogen atoms. Okay, this is our structure of propane. For branch structure, we have taken the example of pentane with the molecular formula C5H12. Okay, so we can write 3 structures of pentane: N-pentane, isopentane, and neopentane. Means branches can be seen. For the same molecular formula, we can write different types of structure. Such isomers are called structural isomers. So what do you understand by the term structural isomers? Such compounds which have the same molecular formula but different structure. You should remember the definition of structural isomers, which have same molecular formula but different structure. Next one is our cyclic or the ring structure. In that we will read the example of C6H12. This is our cyclohexane, C6H12, cyclic structure. And next one is our benzene, C6H6. This is very important. Benzene. Okay. So the structure of cyclohexane is 6 carbon atoms are forming a hexagon. With 1 carbon atom, 2 hydrogens are attached. This is our cyclohexane structure. And for benzene, 6 carbon atoms are forming a hexane structure with 1 hydrogen atoms. And alternate double bonds we have to put between the carbon-carbon atoms. Okay. These are the 2 structures of cyclohexane and benzene. Next we'll read about the functional group. What do we understand by functional group? The atom or group of atoms which can replace hydrogen atom in a hydrocarbon and makes carbon compound reactive and decides its properties are called functional group. Example, chlorine, ClOH, COOH and CHO. Okay, the water functional group, these are one atom or it can be group of atom which can replace one hydrogen atom or more than one hydrogen atom in a hydrocarbon chain and makes carbon compound reactive and decides its properties are called functional group. For example, this is our methane, CH4. How many hydrogen atoms are present in this methane? 4 hydrogen atoms. If we will replace this one hydrogen atom with OH, which type of compound we will get? CH3OH. What is the name of this compound? Methanol. Now it becomes from methane to alcohol. From a hydrocarbon it is converted into alcohol. One of the H is replaced with OH group. Now the property of this compound is completely changed. Now it will behave like a alcohol and its properties will also be like a alcohol. Okay. Okay, now we'll have a look on this table. Heteroatom, it can be chlorine, bromine, iodine also, halogen atoms. Okay. The name of the functional group can be chloro and bromo. Formula of the functional group can be Cl and Br. For example, CH3Cl. If from methane one hydrogen we will replace and we will put Cl, then it can be methyl chloride, CH3Cl. Okay. Oxygen atom. If the heteroatom is oxygen, then it can be alcohol with a functional group of OH. If it can be aldehyde with a functional group of CHO, like this. It can be ketone with a functional group of C double bond O, and it can be carboxylic acid with a functional group of COOH. So these are the functional groups which we have to read in this chapter. It can be halogens like chlorine, bromine. It can be alcohol, OH. For aldehyde, what is the name of the functional group? CHO. And for ketone, what is the formula of the functional group? CO. And for carboxylic acid, the formula of the functional group is COOH. Now we'll read about homologous series. What is a homologous series? A series of compound in which the same functional group substitute for hydrogen in a carbon chain is called a homologous series. A series of compound means it is a series in which the same functional group will substitute a hydrogen. Okay, is called a homologous series. For example, this is our series of alcohols: CH3OH, C2H5OH, C2H7OH, C3H7OH and C4H9OH. In all these hydrocarbon, one H hydrogen is replaced with OH with alcohol. So now their properties are completely changed and they all belongs to alcohol group. They have the same general formula. Any two homologue differ by CH2 unit. Means the formula of all the alcohols are same. And suppose if we take the difference between CH3OH and C2H5OH, the difference will be of CH2 unit. Means between any two homologue, the difference will be of CH2 unit. They have same chemical properties but shows gradual changes in physical properties. Okay, the chemical properties of all the compounds in this alcohol will be same, but their physical properties can change. If the molecular mass will increase, what will happen? The melting point and the boiling point will also increase. Like that, their physical properties might change, but the chemical properties are same. So what we have read in homologous series, a series of compound which substitute hydrogen for the same functional group is called a homologous series. Next we'll read about the nomenclature of organic compounds. Nomenclature of carbon compounds. Okay, for writing the nomenclature of carbon compounds, what we have to do? First, we have to identify the number of carbon atoms in the compound. First, we should count the number of carbon atoms in the compound. Means how many carbon atoms are there, whether it is 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. According to that, we will give the name to it. Next, we will identify the functional group. Which functional group is present, and if we have to use that functional group as a suffix or a prefix. Now we'll have a look on this table. For example, if the functional group is halogen, we will use as a prefix as chloro, bromo, etc. Prefix means it should be used before the name of the organic compound, and suffix means it is used at the end. Okay, prefix means it should be used at the first and suffix it should be used at the end. For example, this is our compound. How many carbon atoms are there? 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is 1, 2 and 3. Which chain is this one? Meth, eth, prop. 3 carbon atoms means prop. Okay, so which type of functional group is present? Chlorine. So we have to use as a prefix. So what is the name of this compound? Chloropropane. Next is our alcohol. For alcohol, the functional group is OH and suffix is used as all. First, we'll count the number of carbon atoms 1, 2, 3. Again, prop, and OH is used as a functional group. The name of the compound is propanol. Next one is aldehyde. For aldehyde, we use the suffix as al. Okay. Now again, we'll count the number of carbon atoms 1, 2, 3, and the name of the compound is propanol. NaL. Next one is ketone. For ketone, we use the suffix on, O-N-E. Again, we'll count the number of carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3. Propanone, O-N-E. For carboxylic acid, we use the suffix as oic acid. So what is the formula of this carboxylic acid? COOH. The name of this compound is propanoic acid. Again, you have to count the number of carbon atoms. 1, 2 and 3. Propanoic acid. Next, double bond and triple bond are also used as a functional group. For double bond, that is for alkenes, we use the suffix -ene. Okay. Again, we have to count the number of carbon atoms. 1, 2 and 3. So there are 3 carbon atoms. So we will use this -ene and -ine as a suffix. Propene. And for this triple bond, we use the suffix as -ine, Y-N-E. So we will write it as propyne, P-R-O-P-Y-N-E. Okay, like this you have to name the carbon compounds. Let's have a quick look on what we have studied till now. Okay, there are 2 types of compounds, organic and inorganic. Organic compounds are made up of carbon. Bonding in carbon compounds, we have read which type of bond is present between the carbon compounds. Covalent bond, and covalent bond is formed by the sharing of electrons. Next, we have discussed about the electron dot structure of hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. We have also seen the electron dot structure for ethane. Next, we have seen what is the covalent bond, what are the properties of covalent bond. It is formed by sharing of electron. Properties, they have low melting and boiling point, they are poor conductor of electricity. In versatile nature of carbon, we have seen the 2 properties of carbon. One is the catenation, by which it can form long chain, rings or branch structure by linking itself with other carbon atoms. And next, second property is tetravalency. Carbon can form only 4 bonds. Next one is our hydrocarbon. What are hydrocarbons? They are made from carbon and hydrogen. 2 types of hydrocarbons we have read, saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbon. Saturated hydrocarbon contains single bond form and the general formula is CnH2n plus 2. They are less reactive and alkanes are the example of saturated hydrocarbon. Unsaturated hydrocarbon contain double or triple bonds. Alkenes and alkynes are the examples. Alkenes contain double bond and alkyne contain triple bond. General formula of alkene is CnH2n and general formula of alkyne is CnH2n minus 2. They are more reactive than saturated hydrocarbon. Next, we have seen the molecular formula, names and structures of saturated hydrocarbon: methane, ethane, propane, butane, pentane and hexane. You have to remember in methane only number of carbon atom is 1. For ethane, number of carbon atom is 2, propane 3, butane 4, pentane 5 and hexane is 6. Next, we have seen the electron dot structure of unsaturated hydrocarbon, ethene and ethyne. Again, we have seen the structure of straight chain, branched and cyclic structure of different types of carbon compounds. Our next topic was functional group. In functional group, what we have read, atoms or group of atom can replace a hydrogen atom in a carbon compound and makes it more reactive. Such compounds are called functional group. Example, chlorine, OH, COH, CHO. So in this chapter, you have to read about the halo functional group, alcohols, aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acid. And the last topic was homologous series. In homologous series, what we have read, series of compound which can replace hydrogen and with the same functional group are called homologous series. In nomenclature of carbon compound, what we have read, that we should count the number of carbon atom first, then we have to see which type of functional group is used, whether it can be used as a suffix or a prefix. So these were the topics which we have discussed today. Whatever we have studied today, go through the topics once. If you have any doubt, do comment in the comment box so that I can clear your doubt, and rest of the topic we will cover in the part 2 of the same chapter. Thank you for watching my channel. Please like and subscribe my channel Science Learning Gateway.